Right next to me, but nervous. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I should change and if I use my distance, I can't do what I'm doing. Oh yeah. I feel like my son like I should be like, Sherry, I can't say. No, I just keep her. It's hard to get to the she's taking I'm not making it there for her. Oh, I think I wish I said you don't have to do this. No, I said you don't have to do that. I'll just put it here for now, but I really would rather walk through the store.
Good plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna have to go to the washroom. Oh, okay, well, I'll be back. I just need to go to the
Hey? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. It just turned.
Gotta do everything.
Yes. That'll do fine.
sabay na lang kayo. Mag-part sila Divina. At saan kayo nakita?
Memory. No, I just take pictures. I'll ask you. Alright. Thank you for coming.
Let's see how we go. The news and views. I think the news and views.
Oh yeah? Okay. Yeah.
is it? Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Mia. I'm the youngest daughter of Jimmy and Teresa Pestano. I want to start off by thanking all of you for coming out today to celebrate my father's life. I know some of you couldn't be here today to pay your respects, and my dad would have loved to see all of you together. And so for the dear family and friends who are watching online in other parts of Canada, Australia, USA, and the Philippines, we truly appreciate your presence. We'd like to say a very, very special thank you to the former 12 Noon St. Paul's Parish Choir for sharing your lovely voices during the Mass service in honor of my dad. Thank you as well to the Richmond Funeral Home for helping me and my family put together a wonderful celebration of life for our dad. You've probably noticed that a lot of us are wearing blue and white right now and have asked you to do so as well. So thank you so much for participating. There's a really special meaning as to why we're wearing these colors. My dad, Jimmy, had a deep spiritual devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary and his college alma mater, Ateneo de Manila University. They adopted blue and white as its school colors. The school colors are signs of Ateneo's devotion to Mary and its commitment to become like her, a constantly true and faithful servant of the Lord. As explained in the Ateneo school history, blue is the color of faith, peace, and commitment. White is the color of openness, of truth, of purity, and of hope. And so we honor my dad with these beautiful colors, which signifies his spiritual beliefs and way of life. Thank you so much for honoring my dad this way. So my brother Mike is in California, and he's going to join us online right now. Just one moment, Tess is going to get that connected. Thank you. We're ready, Mike.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello from California. This is a special occasion, and I'm thanking each and every one of you for attending the celebration of life for an exceptional and exemplary man, my father, Jaime Pestano. It's hard to condense, a tribute to someone in such a short piece of time, but I'll do my best. And let me begin by just explaining to you what I am wearing. As my sister has mentioned, Dad went to Ateneo de Manila University, and I also followed in his footsteps. And this is the baseball jersey that actually he sponsored back from 1985 to 88 when I was a member at the Ateneo Legal Varsity Baseball Team. Now, Dad was, in his younger days, he was an accomplished athlete. I didn't really know the scope and breadth of, what he was, except with, growing up, since I was a little kid and I would tag along with him to the basketball games, he would still play. He would play in, the Rotary leagues, and, growing up, the basketball was one of the first things that he gave me and one of the first sports that I engaged in. So Dad had an indelible imprint in my life. He always, in these last few months, whenever we would talk on FaceTime, and he kept saying, my firstborn son, you're so handsome. I said, Dad, I got with genes, Dad, as a young boy, I looked up to him, and I still do look up to him up to now. Growing up, Dad was not just an accomplished athlete, but when he started his family with my mom, he was also an exemplary family man. I remember so many wonderful memories growing up that, in spite of his busy schedule, Dad was able to find time for family. Stuff like we would do so many things together as a family. After church, we would go out to eat. He'd take us to watch movies. He'd take us to watch games. He'd take us to many different places. And one central theme of Dad was his generosity. And he always made sure that each one of us got what we needed, the tools that we needed, to be good at what we did in school and in sports. In my case, he had me actually try and participate in as many sports as I could. On the Ateneo motto of mens sana in corpore sano, which in Latin means a sound mind and a sound body. Dad had me try not just basketball, but I played baseball, I played football, tennis, golf, and I became a swimmer thanks to his encouragement. I remember those times when I started when I was about 11 or 12 years old, when he enrolled me and my brother to be a part of the Army-Navy, swimming club and team. Now, even though I participated in a lot of sports, I still was dealing with a lot of childhood asthma. But this participation in sports allowed me to get rid of that. Those long hours of swimming, starting early in the morning and ending at late in the afternoon to the evening, were the foundation, for my own physical fitness, to get rid of the childhood asthma that I was suffering from. But as a kid, for us kids, Dad encouraged us not just physically to excel in sports, but to stimulate us mentally. I remember we enjoyed reading a lot of magazines. Like Dad had subscriptions to Newsweek, Time, Life Magazine, Reader's Digest, and so many books in our library. So that was a well-balanced approach to life. And Dad, despite his busy schedule, always found time. I would catch him at times at night after work. He'd be reading. After watching TV, he'd be reading all kinds of information and just to keep himself up. But he practiced what he preached. And in terms of discipline, Dad led by example. He was a quiet man, a gentleman, but he led by example. I remember those early years when he would take me and my brother to go jogging, at 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning. I think I was about 6, 7 years old, and Gabe was 5, and this was in Bacolod in our house there, and Dad still, participated in taking care of his health. So we got a taste of that discipline, and while we were running, Dad would tell us how he trained with the Ateneo Blue Eagles. They would instill this rigorous discipline in life. Because what you prepare for physically when you're young carries forward with you towards your later years. So I enjoyed those times. I enjoyed just listening to Dad tell stories about those games against LaSalle, those games against Mapua, San Beda. And I didn't really realize that Dad was such a big man on campus back then. Until the times when I would go to those basketball games and I'd meet people, like while he was playing at the court, and I would be sitting on the bench. Some of the players would come up to me and say, "Hey, did you know your dad was famous back then? Did you know your dad was that?" And to me, I didn't realize that until I grew up and attended the same college. When I went to Ateneo de Manila, I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to be a Blue Eagle. I wanted to wear his number, the number 4. And I tried. I ended up on the baseball team, and the story was like, Dad, in spite of his busy schedule, he would find time to be at key events in my life. He would show up to my baseball games unannounced. Like, I'd see him up in the stands, and like, how did he know I have a game going on? Right? Those are special things. And he supported the team. Like, when he worked for Caltex, Caltex became the sponsor of the Ateneo baseball team. So this jersey, 37 years from now, is the last memento I have, that this is from my dad. Even though it's part of Ateneo, it's my dad's imprint. And he supported me wholeheartedly in all of the activities that I wanted to do. From that time, when I tried out for the Ateneo basketball team in 1987, I didn't even know that he was watching. I gave my all. Unfortunately, I didn't make the team, and I was in the dugout. I was crying, giving my guts out because I was so tired and everything. And he surprised me by going there. And he said, "You did your best. The important thing is to try in life." And that's that. He never stopped trying. Even in his later years, his dad would always find things to do. Like to dream about helping the world make a better place, helping make the Philippines a better place, and helping us become better as well.
Thank you.
That's the central theme of his life. It's like always try, never give up. And that's what exemplified him in his life and in my life, wherein he drove me not by force or aggression, but by example. So all those early days, mornings of running and going jogging with him, those are the most important things for me. It's not the material stuff that I got, because Dad was a great provider. All of us, he loved equally. He loved my mom, supported each and every one of us. But the time, the more important thing is when a father gives time to his kids. And to me, he was there all the time. When I look back from a different perspective now, I'm 55 years old. And this was about the same time when Dad's the same age. We had our gas station, and I could fully understand now what I could relate to. How when Dad was working for our own business, and it was physically beating him down. I can relate now. I said, okay, Dad, I'm in your shoes. I'm the same age now. It's something, something admirable that he still persisted, still kept going on. He never gave up. It's one thing. And that's the same self-driven attitude and motto I have in my life. And, there were times I would tell Dad, when I was in Vancouver, that I looked up to him so much, and I thanked him so much for all the influence that he gave. And I remember he was asking me for forgiveness, and I said, Dad, what for? Like, if there's anything that he might have said or done and everything. I said, Dad, you have nothing to apologize for. I appreciate and I'm grateful for everything that you have given me, brothers and sisters. Mom, you've given us an exemplary and exceptional life as well. Given us the tools we needed, given us the motivation we needed, and living a life of integrity. That's the first thing I noticed. And I was fortunate enough to go with Dad on his business travels to different parts of the Philippines that I never would have been able to go to on my own. So I got to see how Dad applied his personality. He's a quiet and gentle man, but he built relationships. He built relationships all across the Philippines and internationally. You know, when we lived in Dallas, you know, Dad traveled a lot there too, and we met some awesome people. And all they would say about Dad was, you know, your dad is an exceptional dad. I keep hearing that all the time. Now that his journey, his mission in life is over, you know, he still wanted to do more. You know, the time, you know, the week before, when he was still lucid, he was actually saying to me, Mike, I have this mission. You know, God wants me to do one more thing, you know, for the world, help the Philippines. And so he was dreaming these big things that we could do. And he said, you're into health and fitness. You're into this, like, you know, we could work together. And, you know, it's hard, you know, because I could see my dad was already breaking down, but he was still fighting till the very end. Even though his mind and body were not what it used to. You could tell. You could tell. So in closing, I sent off my dad with this prayer. Prayer from, I was thinking of singing a song, but I was thinking, no, this prayer exemplifies who my dad is. It's the prayer of generosity in the Ateneo. And this is how it goes. Dearest Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve Thee as I serve. To give and not to count the cost. To fight not to eat the wounds. To labor, toil not for us. Save that in knowing that I do Your most holy will. So everything he did was for family. Everything he did was for Jesus, for Mary, for the Hail Mary theme. So I send you off, Dad, in the way you would want to. Thank you for everything. I love you. We love you. The whole world is a better place because you were here. So please watch over us now from up above with everybody else. And I smile and thank you. And thank my family. And thank each and every one of you there that's come to celebrate the life of an exceptional man. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Thank you, Michael. Maraming salamat. Mahal na mahal ka rin namin, Kuya Mike. Hello. We received a special message this morning from my cousin, Marisa Pestano Basilag. So she can't be here today. She's actually in Manila, Philippines. She is the eldest daughter of my dad's brother, Tito Pepe. And so I'd like to share her wonderful message about my dad. So Marisa, I know you're watching. Daghang salamat talaga sa mensahe na ipinadala mo sa amin. Mahal na mahal ka namin. So here's Marisa's message. Growing up in Cebu, I did not get the chance to create a lot of childhood memories with Tito Jimmy. But I do remember, as a child, looking up to him not only because he was huge and tall, but because he was Tito Jimmy. You know, who was successful as an executive and gave us access to an exclusive hotel in Cebu. When we were transferred to Manila, we had more treats in this exclusive club in Manila, what was then the Army-Navy Club, and invites to parties in his home in BF, where we got to hang with our cousins Mike, Gabo, Marites, and Mia. All fun times, actually. So when he retired and went into business, I got closer to Tito Jimmy because there were many opportunities for him and Tita Tess to visit my dad, which would be Tito Pepe, our home in Quezon City, or we would visit them in Parañaque. I learned that he was a gentle Papa Bear kind of Tito, very accommodating, had a listening ear to us minors, and generous in sharing stories, chit-chats, or simple conversations. Despite his heavy weight, he was very light. Over the years, I see what a humble person he is. Papa would proudly tell us about Manoy's successes as a top marketing honcho of Caltex, and there were times that I could not reconcile it with his personality, because I thought then that a marketing person would always be loud and aggressive, LOL, funny, right? And Tito Jimmy was just the opposite, super gentle, but full of wisdom. I also witnessed in Tito Jimmy what a loving husband he was to Tita Tessie. I saw friendship in them. I thought that was ideal, to have a husband who is also your best friend. Among all these characteristics, one thing stood out for me, and it was that Tito Jimmy was a prayerful person. No wonder he was an excellent student, as an athlete, and as a career executive. He knew where to anchor his hope on. I cried so much when I learned Tito Jimmy passed. Tears of joy, because according to Tita Tessie, he was ready to meet Jesus. What a blessing it is to be afforded the time to prepare. Tears of sadness, because there was something that he wanted me to do that I did not do. Tears of joy again, because he will be with Papa and Tito Boy and Tita Danny and Lolo and all his loved ones. What a fun reunion it must be for them. No more pain, no more sadness is God's promise. Bye, Tito Jimmy. We have shared so much. Your Toyota Cressida and Starex, your love for Philip, whose case you wanted to continue fighting for when Papa passed, and your love for Cebu and the Pestano family. Look forward to hang out with you in heaven, later than sooner, but do keep watch over us all as well. I love you, Tito. Thank you, Marisa. We appreciate this message. So my mom also received another message this morning from my dad's old basketball teammate. His name is Ando Hernandez, and so I'm going to ask my mom to come up and read that message.
I have the sister of Ando Hernandez, Miling Yoseko, who is going to represent Ando. And I will read now his email. We just got it last night. Dear Tess, Manon and I are sending our deepest condolence to you and your family, re. Jimmy's death. We know that he has suffered a lot, including several dialysis. Jim and I have been teammates at the Ateneo for 4 years, members of the Bacolod and Parañaque Rotary Clubs, and also played together for the Bacolod Executives. When we were at the Ateneo, the late Father James Reuter, noted for his discipline, assigned Jimmy to wake us up for our morning exercises. We had 10 p.m. curfew, so we had to assign the job to somebody like Jim. When we were playing, Jim, who plays guard, will always pass the ball to inside cutters for a sure shot. If I can only count the times that Jimmy fed me the passes, I would have owned him a lot. So Tess, we can only pray for his soul and offer masses since we can't be there. God bless, hoping to see you someday, Ando and Manon. Thank you.
Mom, is Tom Choi here?
Tom Choi is here? He was supposed to.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Thanks so much, Mom. That's a really cool story about Dad. I didn't know that he was the timekeeper for the whole Ateneo basketball team while he played during this time. So it will be me who will say a special story about my dad. Although today is going to be quite a hard day for me, I just want to take this time to remember and honor the special memories I had with my dad. So growing up, I really so many loving and wonderful memories about my Papa Jimmy. He showed his love through grand gestures and was generous to a fault. One of my favorite childhood memories was when I was 7 years old. My dad knew how much I loved Wonder Woman as a superhero, and I started watching Wonder Woman at age 3 because I loved Linda Carter. And it greatly amused my dad to see me copy her every move whenever she turned into Wonder Woman. So when it was my 7th birthday, I asked him, Dad, can you please get me a Wonder Woman cake? Is that possible? He said, well, I'm not really sure if that's possible. We can try. He said, your mom and I will try our very best. So, you know, my dad was the kind of person who would move mountains to make his kid feel so happy and special, and he did that for me. So on the day of my 7th birthday, to my big surprise, he and my mom presented me with my very own one-of-a-kind Wonder Woman cake that he found this bakery called Tita Lola. I don't know if people remember that from the Philippines, but it was really popular back in the 80s. And I just couldn't believe that he actually found a place just to give me my special birthday cake. And I remember giving my dad the biggest bear hug, couldn't stop laughing, dancing up and down, and just felt so loved. My heart felt like it was going to burst with happiness because of what my dad did. And, you know, this is the kind of love my papa, Jimmy, gave me until he left this earth. And so I leave you with this quote about my loving and wonderful dad. A father's love is forever imprinted on his child's heart. And before he passed away, I was able to say, I love you forever, Papa, because love never dies. And my papa said, I love you forever too, and he kissed my hand. So that'll forever be tattooed on my heart as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm now going to call my sister, and she prepared something amazing for you to see about my dad.
Amazing to see? No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Just words for now.
Words for now.
I timed myself. I think it's about 11 minutes, so hopefully I stick to that. I have my notes, so I should be fine. Good afternoon. My name is Mary Tess Randall. I'm the 3rd child of Jimmy and Teresa Pestano. Thank you to all of you here today for joining us in celebration of my dad's life. I often hear from people that I look a lot like my dad. In fact, my own husband, Trevor, where is he, jokingly asked my mom, is Mary Tess going to look like Papa Bear when she grows old? If I can flash that same warm smile in my old age after enduring one health challenge after another, then he's a very lucky man. My dad used to jog around the neighborhood, as my brother mentioned, early in the mornings. At the time, I was only 3 years old, so I don't really remember it. My mom said I would get up early, and in seeing that he was about to go, I would hurriedly put on my shoes and follow him out. He would let me catch up and run alongside him. I didn't get very far and would say, "Carga," which means carry me. Instead of running back home and leaving me with my mom so he could continue his jog in peace, he kept on going and carried me the whole way. I loved my dad's stories about his years growing up. I could see how his experiences shaped his values and why he made some of the choices he made. In his first few years, his family lived with his grandparents in Leyte, in a beautiful house right by the sea. He was very happy here and had a carefree life. He said every day he would jump right out of the balcony into the ocean. Certain circumstances and World War II changed his peaceful life. They had moved to Cebu, and the towns in the area were getting bombed during the last weeks of the war. They ran to the mountain with barely anything with them. The enemy troops hid where the civilians were, and the bombs kept getting closer. He saw people getting killed. Still a very young boy, but his father gave him the task of making sure his grandparents did not get separated from them, while his father looked after his mom and younger brother. Miraculously, his family escaped unharmed and stayed in the mountain for a little while. He admired how his father took care of his family and taught them how to survive. Some days there was nothing to eat. He recalled one day they were able to find yams, which his mother boiled, and just as they were about to eat, enemy soldiers came upon them and took the yams. His father was so angry, but his mother held him back. The war ended when American troops arrived. They had no jobs and very little money. His dad taught him and his brother to fish, dig for clams, and catch crabs. The abundance of the sea sustained them. Later, they put up a small restaurant under a makeshift tent and called it the Bamboo Kitchen. It was a simple menu: his mother's fried chicken, secret recipe is to fry it in lard, and his father's coconut wine. The soldiers loved them. My dad provided the entertainment by singing, and the soldiers tipped him with Hershey chocolate bars. One of the songs he would sing was, "You Are My Sunshine." After the war, his family experienced another setback. Their house caught on fire while his parents were away. He and his brothers were playing outside when it happened, but they weren't sure where their sister was in the house. The babysitter went back inside for her, then jumped to safety from a second-floor window. They lost touch with this young lady, but my father never forgot her bravery. When he became an adult, he searched for her and gave her a token of his appreciation. This eulogy would not be complete without me talking about his basketball days. You've heard a lot about it. It was a very important part of his life because it springboarded him to the life he dreamt. And this is when he forged many of his lifelong friendships. And some of them are here today. He became interested in basketball after watching American soldiers play. When he was 10 years old, his father asked him and his brother if there was anything he could bring for them when he went to the city. His younger brother Pepe asked for boxing gloves, and he asked for a basketball. Soon he was playing every day and going to different neighborhoods, challenging anyone in his quest to become the best basketball player he could be. He made his high school team and was spotted by university scouts. By now you know he was recruited by Ateneo. What I would like to share with you is his family actually did not have any money to send him to this school. It was a very highly regarded school, and his father really wanted him to attend that school. But Ateneo at the time did not have a scholarship budget. And so what enabled him to attend was because of the generosity of the Ateneo alumni. They raised enough money for 4 years of his tuition, room, and board. What an amazing group of people. The academic requirements, training, and team roles were very strict. My dad committed fully because he appreciated the gift he had been given. It was a dream come true for him to get a good education and at the same time achieve great success on the basketball court. After graduating, he had opportunities to continue playing and was even offered to try out for the Olympic team. He said he didn't pursue these opportunities because he already had a job offer with Caltex, a company he ended up working for 30 years. He thought a basketball career would be short-lived and impractical. As soon as he started working, he sent funds to his parents on a regular basis to help support his 9 siblings, only scaling back when he had a family of his own. His good fortune continued in meeting my mom, whom he adored and loved dearly. Together, they had 4 children. We had a wonderful life in the Philippines and in the US, where we got a chance to live for 2 years. My parents gave us the best of the things that mattered. As my dad's career progressed with Caltex, he gave back to his alma mater and his community, and continued his quiet generosity to family and friends whenever he could. My dad had other talents. He was a quick learner and a great teacher. He discovered golf in his late 20s, eventually becoming a scratch golfer. He also knew how to play chess, coming from a chess-playing family. My dad taught my brother Gabe how to play, and he was a natural at it. Gabe played for the Ateneo chess team, and they won the 1987 UAAP Chess Championship. My dad shared his love for basketball with all his kids. He built a half basketball court right by our house, and my siblings and I and the neighborhood kids spent many weekends and summers playing. I loved it so much that I wanted to be just like him. He taught me my favorite money shot, the layup on a fast break. When I first started playing in Dallas, he took me to all of my games. In high school in the Philippines, I donned the number 4 in honor of my dad. I was being recruited by 2 universities in Manila, but then we had to leave for Canada. Fearing political instability in the years to come after the 1986 People Power Revolution, my dad wanted to take us to a safer place and give us new and broader opportunities. Shortly after moving to Canada, Caltex offered him the position of president. They even said, "We will pay for you to visit Canada every 6 months to see your family." He declined because he wanted to start it off our new life in Canada together. Fast-tracking now to his days as a grandpa. When my son was little, my parents often stayed with us. They would play 50s and 60s music, and whenever Lucas heard it, he went to their room, dancing and jumping on their bed. He liked the song, "Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear." In one of the moments I caught, my mom was clapping her hands while my dad was dancing and carrying a big white teddy bear. My parents truly loved each other's company. They called each other sweetheart and did everything together. They were devoted to their faith and prayed daily. Due to my dad's health issues in recent years, he required a great deal of care, and my mom was there to give the extraordinary loving care he deserved. To give thanks, he made homemade cards and kissed her hand. My dad was a gentle-natured person who lived a joyful life. This is because he shared his love so freely, and his heart was always full of gratitude. He loved his faith, family, and friends. He was a hardworking, thoughtful, kind, and humble man who valued truth and fairness. He did his best to do the right thing. Like all of us, he made mistakes, but he always had good intentions. As his success grew, the more he shared with others. He never compromised his values for the sake of wealth or prestige. For him, success in life was about giving it your best shot in whatever you do, pushing through the daily struggles, and treating others with respect and kindness along the way. In his last hour with us, he was just sleeping. His favorite church songs played in the background. His forehead was gently stroked and his hand was held. The last words spoken to him were, "I love you." At 8:45 a.m. on June 13th, he passed away peacefully. "Papa, gimingaw na kaayo ko nimo. Mahal na mahal kita. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng pagmamahal na ibinuhos mo sa amin. I miss you so much. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for all the love you showered on us. I'm so proud to be your daughter." Thank you. Our last speaker, my mom.
This is just very short. Father Smith was supposed to give a cue to the choir, but he forgot, so they were not able to sing the song. But I'll read to you my short eulogy to Jimmy. My dearest Jimmy, ours is a beautiful love story. Our faith in God, in Mother Mary, and the true love we had for each other carried us through the difficult times. We had so many happy moments I will always cherish. You said to me you wanted the song, "I Thank My God," to be sung at your funeral service. But the choir was not able to sing it, then I will sing it to all of you. I thank my God each time I think of you, and when I pray for you, I pray with joy. I told myself then that I would sing this song with all the love I feel in my heart. Now I realize what you really meant is you will be singing this song to me and all those you love from wherever you are. I love you for always, your sweetheart, Tessie.
Wow, Mom, you really have a nice voice. No, you do. I hear my mom sing a lot, and today she showed how much she can sing really well. I hope everyone's enjoying your meals and your drinks, and again, I just want to thank you so much for being here with us today and making this so special for us, and your love and your support, and that you've been part of my dad's life. I think my mom had one more thing to share. Mom, do you remember? Your cheer, Dad's favorite cheer. So here we go.
Okay. I also was lucky to be a prep teacher at the Ateneo of the Manila Grade School. So the Ateneans would always cheer for the basketball. So I hope all the other Ateneans who are still here, please stand and give me support. Gigi, Vicky Cruz, Eugene Pietza, Vic Asuncion, Ito Ramirez, and all the rest. Please come in front so I can. All the Ateneans, please come over. The blue and white. Calling all Ateneans if you're present, please. Ed Bernard, you're Atenean. You are. You forgot? You've seen your moments already.
What did you want us to do?
Pabilo 8, ining kanin, one big fight.
Go.
Pabilo 8.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
Go, Fabio.
Yeah, please.
Haliko.
Pabilo 8. Pablo 8, ina kadima,
Ina, wina, ini, kadima, inawa. Ora, 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 ra. Ateneo, Ateneo, ra, ra, ra.
One big fight.
One big fight.
Oh, did you say something?
Yeah, so it's a tradition in our school, aside from the cheering, is also to sing the
Your alma
graduation
mater.
song,
Yeah, okay.
and which is pretty much like the farewell for Jimmy. And after every victory or defeat, this is what we sing after an event. And in our graduation, this is also what we sing. And it's really a song for Mary. Right? We stand on the hill.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. We stand on a hill between the earth and sky. Now all is still where Loyola's colors fly. Our course is run and the setting sun ends Ateneo's day. Eyes are dry at the last goodbye. This is the Ateneo way. Mary, for you, for your white and blue, we pray you'll keep us, Mary, constantly true. We pray you'll keep us, Mary, faithful to you. Down from the hill, down to the world go I, remembering still how the bright blue eagles fly. Through joys and tears, through the laughing years, we sing our battle song. Ateneo! Singing win or lose, it's the school we choose. This is the place where we belong. Mary, for you, for your white and blue, we pray you'll keep us, Mary, faithful to you. One big fight, Jimmy! One big fight! Rest in peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was just amazing. So this is the end of our presentation about my dad and tribute, but please feel free to enjoy the rest of the day with us. Thank you so much again.
I felt like I was stuttering, but I think it was in my head. Yeah, you were. There we go. Oh, thank you, Dave. I was terrified of tears in my eyes. That's evidence. Joy. Thank you. I'm so impressed. Jerry, I was like trying not to stare at people because I know like how can we forget what I was saying.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, public education.
Well, she can make her own show. My own show. All about my Wonder Woman. Show. Yeah, your Wonder Woman. Okay. I was reading. Yeah, there's a video. Right? Oh, announce the video. Oh, I forgot the video.
Hi, there's one really big important thing I kind of forgot, but it's the video about my dad that my sister put together. So we're going to be showing that to you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Their wedding
Her dad?
and her dad.
Her dad's a little bit shorter.
The dad,
Yours? That's what I was thinking.
the mom's a little like,
Oh, she's always been short.
yeah.
Sounds like he was a teacher's dad.
He was in the oil company during the training. That's me. Small one.
Adorable.
Yeah. I'm the younger one. That's my sister Meredith. That's me.
Oh, yeah. Didn't see your face.
Yeah. My sisters. Yeah. That's like Alex's after
Okay, because I remember your sister saying something about gas station.
That's me.
In the middle there, glasses.
It's our house in Burnaby. That's me.
Oh, yeah. What's that tomato stand for?
It's a Greek word for
A tomato?
it's me. The green.
Does your oldest brother look like your dad?
Yes. Well, probably more my mom.
She always shows up in these pictures.
Yeah.
What did you say Ateneo is?
Some word for wisdom.
Your sister's wedding?
It's me, my daughter, my ex-wife.
Your daughter? I didn't know you had a daughter.
Yeah.
Where is she?
My ex. But, yes. Here in Canada. That's my daughter. It's been
How old's your daughter?
at the time it was 4, and now she's 3.
Tito means papa.
Tito means uncle.
Don't you love it when you don't ask permission? Yeah, yeah. What's the June 13th?
That was their last. Oh, you see.
That was beautiful, Tess. Thank you so much for putting that together for all of us, and thanks for watching. And let's have fun. Let's celebrate my dad's life. Thank you.
Anything for me? I need to eat. Yes.
Where
does she live?
Richmond.
She's
But-
in Richmond?
Yeah, but this one was taken to
And she's 9 years old now? And how often do you see her?
That's a problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hard.
With the ex? Conflicts? Oh, go do your duties. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.